Have you ever heard the story of the short king supreme Napoleon Bonaparte getting overrun by hordes of rabbits? No? Well, let me tell you about it. In 1807, after the Treaty of Tilst, Napoleon felt very pleased with his victory over the Russians and Prussians. Napoleon decided to celebrate with a rabbit hunt, a pleasant, controlled event for his top officials and top generals that helped him win the war. Napoleon's chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier, was in charge of the event. He organized a picnic and staged a rabbit hunt in the middle of a large field. What could go wrong? Berthier ordered hundreds, up to 3,000 rabbits to be collected for the event. Well, the handlers, instead of getting wild hares that would work better for a hunt, in all their infinite wisdom, they got domestic rabbits. Cuddly, fluffy little bunnies chewing on carrots that are raised for meat and other purposes. When released, they didn't bolt off into the field like they were supposed to. No, they all started hopping towards Napoleon and his entourage, like the cutest little cavalry you've ever seen. At first, it was funny. Then it became absurd. And then somehow, it became terrifying. Waves of bunny swarmed the emperor. They were climbing his legs. They invaded his carriage, and they just would not retreat, no matter what they did. Napoleon, being the valiant leader he was, ran. He completely fled the scene. And his staff tried shooting the bunnies, kicking the bunnies. Nothing would turn the horde of bunnies away. Needless to say, the greatest general of his time was completely overwhelmed with chubby, fluffy bunnies. That is not a defeat that you want on your record, and of course, it was never put in the official records, but there's plenty of accounts to recant the story. So how did all of this happen? Well, domestic rabbits don't run from humans because they're domestic. They're fed by humans and taken care of by humans. And not to mention, this was all during a picnic too. So they saw all these people eating food, and so they thought it was feeding time. So you had hundreds, if not thousands, of bunnies swarming you because you're eating a carrot at a picnic. All in all, in the end, even though they were just cute, fluffy bunnies, you can say it was a pretty hair-raising situation. Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow for more history content. I try to post a couple times a week.